We are live. It is Sunday morning in the heat wave layered area known as the San Francisco Bay Area. Damn, is it hot. Hey, we actually have weather to report and not, sunny inland and fog by the bay. I wish they would really talk about the weather when it really mattered. So in any event, we're supposed to have 2 more days of this crap, and then we can go back to being our normal, it's fog along the bay, but sunny inland kind of stuff. Traffic and weather together. And I got a lot to say about that company again. In any event, if you watched Saturday night on sports, ESPN had a day-long commercial for the Cal Bears and the University of California at the GameDay crew and the big Pat McAfee and Nick Saban and all the ESPN guys, Reese Davis, etc., basically giving a 4-hour commercial to the university and Berkeley. Berkeley actually looked good. They looked nice. Students and signs and, visit to the Top Dog. and it was a gorgeous day. It was kind of hot, but, ESPN loves all that. Shrieking thousands of Cal fans. And then, of course, the game, which turned out to be a bummer. Okay, Cal loses it late. Most of you are not sports fans, but if you were, very tough loss. But here's the headline. Dave Fleming, he of SF Giants and ESPN fame, was apparently to do the game on Saturday night in Berkeley, Cal versus Miami, with Brock Osweiler. Didn't see him last night. Well, Reese Davis, who did do the game and is the host of ESPN GameDay, said at the very start of the telecast that Dave Fleming was to do the game on Saturday night, but had to go back to San Francisco because he had a family issue. And this is the killer saying, this is Reese Davis, quote, "We wish him the very best." Now, first thing, when you say that, a family issue, could it have been some kind of emergency, health issue? He's got kids, he's got a wife. For him to miss a telecast, that's got to be pretty big. Well, turns out, I called a few people, and my sources told me that apparently, in fact, now this is not the official story, Fleming had done some kind of commitment earlier in the week, had to go back to Washington, D.C., was in fact not going to do the game in Berkeley on Saturday night. But something is amiss because Reese Davis was definitely not scheduled to do the game. So, and him saying on the air that, quote, Fleming had a family issue and that we wish him the best, I'm sorry. Somebody screwed up. Somebody did not get the story right. And I've contacted a whole lot of people. They don't know. One person who would have known said that ESPN, the general line, when they're not putting anything out officially, was that, oh no, Fleming was not to do the game. Well, that's BS. Because you don't open up a show, a broadcast, saying that Dave Fleming was to do this game tonight, had to go back to his house in San Francisco and is dealing with a family matter. We wish him the best. Well, the first inclination is that something was amiss. And somebody screwed up. ESPN did not handle this right. And of course, doing something like that only leads to further rampant speculation, innuendo, etc., etc. Instead of just saying, hey, look, Dave Fleming is not doing the game tonight, or Dave Fleming is away, or not even mentioning it. If indeed he was not going to do the game anyway, the broadcast of the ESPN game, Cal versus Miami, then why say we wish him the best? That would indicate that something amiss took place at his house. You don't say that by accident, mistake. And now it sounds like somebody's covering up their ass. That I can tell you. Somebody is covering up their ass. So we'll look at that further. I will. And I'll call around and I'll see just what the hell happened, and I'll get to the bottom of it. If it's something that's benign, of course, I'll tell you. If it's something that was truly covered up, fine. If it was a private matter or something like that, okay. But you don't say we wish him the best. That's not something that is said by accident. That means that you're wishing him the best because he's dealing with some kind of an issue or did dealt. The whole thing, again, just adds to further speculation and rumor mongering. So you try to avoid one thing and you create mounds and mounds and mounds of speculation. That's not good either. Okay, enough about that. So, KCBS, the gift that keeps on giving. Now, look, I like Pat Thurston. I think she's a very capable broadcaster, talk show host. Obviously, we know her from KGO. She migrated over to KCBS and reads the news. She had a very bad Saturday afternoon. Overly enthusiastic, almost giddy. Her traffic tosses to the traffic anchor, and I don't know who the hell KCBS has on. Every other minute, there's somebody else. They just simply don't have personnel, so we say acumen. In any event, it was a rough Saturday. Commercials. And this is the thing with KCBS. They got overtaken, did Odyssey, which owns KCBS, and as soon will be a part of whatever they're going to call the Alex Soros group that bought all the stations. There's some mounds and mounds of speculation. Speaking of speculation, but in any event, the commercial orgy that is KCBS is just simply really out of control. Look, nothing is free, even on radio, which is dead and by the doornail. But you can't keep throwing minutes and minutes and minutes of commercials out there. That's number one. It's taking advantage of the fact that you're a monopoly. Number two, KCBS repeats their stories. They did some stupid story about a boat that has a hot tub in the boat. They're calling it the hot tub boat. They ran this story, folks, late Friday into Saturday, at least 12 times. I counted 12 times the same story. That's what they do. They overload their stories when they're not, of course, running thousands of commercials. And again, KCBS basically gets away with it because Odyssey, for the present, is a monopoly. KCBS isn't, well, not Odyssey is not the monopoly, it's KCBS. They keep running these promos of the number one news station in the Bay Area. They're the only station on radio that's the number one news station. Of course they are. So they get away with this ad after ad after ad. No wonder, among everything else, people tune away. The few people that listen to radio, terrestrial radio, they turn off KCBS. The few people that don't have apps listen so they can get a traffic report. I get it. And the obligatory weather, which is the same old weather. How many times could you say it's fucking hot? It's hot. We know that. It's hot. And I know you're going to do another story about climate control and climate. Fine, do it. Do it. It beats the fact that you got to repeat the same goddamn story about it's going to be hot today. Well, no shit, Sherlock. KCBS is a 24/7 accident, an abyss maker, the shits. Finally, KNBR runs their programs now pre-49ers. The fallout from the Tom Tolbert, Adam Dopey Copes incident on late Friday when Tolbert got plastered on the air. He was legitimately drunk drinking beer while the morons did an alleged show from some live remote at a beer brewery place in Alameda. Tolbert thought it would be funny, I guess, with capitulation from whoever runs KNBR. I'm going to drink a lot of beer and get plastered, which he did. Well, the blowback got to corporate Cumulus, and there's going to be repercussions come Monday and Tuesday. What? Wait and see. Please, folks, do me a favor. If you're investing in gold, I have a new sponsor. It's called AMFED, short for American Federal Coin, Silver, and Gold Bullion. Call them at 1-800-221-7694. That's 1-800-221-7694. Now, I know a lot of you think, oh my God, gold, gold, gold. What is he talking about? Well, a lot of people, because of the economy, the interest rates fluctuation, they just recently lowered interest rates, but a lot of people are wanting to keep their financial portfolio basically all over the map, not just putting it in the bank, your money, but perhaps investing in gold or silver. Call these good people. The owner of this company is Nick Grovich. They're an independent company. They're not some big corporate mass bullion company. They're based in Arizona, and they're run by Nick Grovich. 1-800-221-7694. And if you mention my name, Rich Lieberman, they'll give you a free gold kit. And gold as not just bullions, but Krugerrands and American Eagles, all the coins that you want. 1-800-221-7694. Mention my name. They will give you a fabulous discount. So please, if you're thinking about investing in gold, call these good people who are now one of my sponsors. Please also, folks, if you can, make a contribution to my site. And obviously, last but not least, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Have a great Sunday.